this community that we have, because as that continues to grow and as we continue to utilize the coin amongst ourselves more and more and more, that's where the true success is going to come. So we're just going to wait for a few more minutes for people to show up, and then I'll let Sky and Kimberly take it off. If anyone just wants to share their thoughts about Guap and the Guap community, and as it relates or could relate to the Black community, feel free to chime in as we wait for people to come in. Couture, I see you there. How are you doing this evening? Can you talk?
Doing fine, thank you very much.
Good. So what would it take for us to be able to buy your book in Guap? Or maybe I need to be answering that question.
I don't know, but it would be good.
All right, well, we'll talk offline. So why don't you tell us about your book and get everyone excited to be able to buy it?
Well, the name of the book is titled The Zola Experience, A Journey of Recovery from Loss. And the Zola Experience is a 7-session tool for change and healing, as I say, fueled by the power of love. So the Zola Experience basically moves you from loss to love, understanding that in order for you to move past your lost love object, it will be an act of love. And that lost love object can be anything from a person. It could also be your job, your health, your body image. It could be any number of things that you perceive that you have lost. And so the Zola Experience really is my divine mission that God gave me probably 10 years ago, but in the midst of the COVID, I was motivated to write the book. And so it's a workbook. It's also a journal. It's also, it's a book that deserves to be read by any number of people. My mission is to have a global presence with this book, because globally people have lost things that they never thought that they would lose. And people need a tool, they need an avenue to figure this out. And between the book and offering an opportunity for people to be Zola ambassadors for change, I think that we can do this. So I've gotten great reviews from the book, from those that have chosen to read it. And I'm hoping that you will want to read it as well. And make sure that you let Amazon know that what you think of the book. So that is my book, and I am in the process of doing a tandem document to that, which is a journal. It's entitled The Zola Experience, A Journal Journey for Life. And that should be out, God willing, by June. And that is a book that has short stories or vignettes, questions for you to reflect on and write on, affirmations, just space for you to express yourself. And so that is what the Zola Experience is about. Please ask me questions. I do really well with the questions. Hello?
Hi, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
So this is Kimberly. in hearing you describe your process, it could be anything. It could be drugs, it could be a love affair, it could be the loss of a job, whatever that is painful or holding you hostage is what you're speaking of.
Absolutely. Whatever is getting you stuck.
Stuff.
And the term that I have defined in my book I use the term lost love object. So your lost love object can be anything. It can be a person. It can be um, your job. It can be a human being. It can be your body image. Your health. People are dealing with COVID loading, and all of a sudden they can't walk up a flight of stairs anymore, or their whole sense of self has been changed. And it's a 7 steps that we use and that you'll go through within the context of the book, but as well as we're offering healing circles and things like that for those that learn to facilitate the modules. So yes, it's a time for people to really be to help yourself move from one space to the next and to get unstuck. The Zola experience is for the living. I'm sure that most of you have heard of the 5 stages of grief, and that really was designed by Kubler-Ross um, as the 5 stages were for those individuals that were transitioning. The Zola experience is for those that are living and trying to figure out, how do I live after the loss of my lost love object?
Oh, wonderful. I'd like to read that. So we've got to get you signed up so you can accept Guap and get that going.
Yes, I'll need some technical assistance from Okolo.
Oh, yes, I'm sure he'll give it to you too. So it's 8:08. We've got a number of members in the group. How many we have? About 11. This session, Okolo generally conducts every Wednesday, and Mr. Frank and I are stepping in to assist him because he has another appointment and he'll be popping in and out. And so he charged us to discuss how we as human beings can fit into the Guap paradigm. How can Guap be good for our community? How can we facilitate everybody knowing about Guap? I think that's what he wanted. Mr. Frank.
Sky, I'm Miss. Hi, how are you?
Oh, it's Sky.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Sky.
Yes, I get that a lot.
Help a sister out, Sky, now.
I get that a lot. So I'm a master node holder. I've been part of the community for about a year now. So I've personally have experienced the value of being a part of the community as well as using Guap. I accept Guap for my products that I sell. I sell holistic body care products, and I use Guap to finance my life. So I definitely see the benefit personally. So I am glad to talk about it with other people. Is anybody else currently masternode holders or hold Guap on the call?
I'm a masternode holder as well. I have a few, and I have a business, and I generally work with colleges and universities. I'm a grant writer and a program evaluator, and do training and development, and do evaluation. So me thinking, okay, how can I accept Guap for my business, as opposed to, I mean, because since I work for colleges and universities, as opposed to, I'm not selling a thing like that. So I'm trying to figure out, I think I figured it out. Once I master knowledge of Guap, then since I do training and development, my thought is that I would create modules for the Guap Academy and put them out there, and help those who are starting from the beginning, like I'm starting from the beginning. And I look at some of the videos in the Guap Academy, and they're still above my pay grade. I still have to start below that in order to get to the point where they're making presentations. And so that's what I'm going to concentrate on. And I might do a little grant writing as well for the foundation. That's how I figure I can contribute. And so if I do grant writing for the foundation, it'll probably be me contributing my services more so than getting paid in Guap necessarily. And the modules, they have it set up, I believe, on the Guap Academy and University, whereby you can monetize them. So as individuals look at those videos in the academy, then I could get paid that way. And so that's how I'm trying to fit in to how I can fit in. Anybody else? How can we fit in?
This is Katura again. I am also a master-node owner. I'm very happy about that. And I just, really need the technical assistance on, like you say, how do I monetize with Guap what I'm doing? In addition to the Zola work that I'm doing, I do other ventures. I do other trainings, and could also incorporate that. There's some other things that we're doing as a family that we've begun to, look at the Guapcoin and try to incorporate that as well. So this is pretty exciting. And I talked about Guap yesterday, well, Monday, in my mastermind class, and just really the possibilities of using this Guapcoin as the monetary system that we can use in the Black community, period, end of conversation. So if you got Africatown in Seattle, you got Dixwell community in New Haven, you got Jefferson Street community in Nashville, you got Memphis, that if we come together and say, this is how we're going to do business, this is how we're going to do our commerce, and anybody that wants to do commerce with our Black farmers, with our Black nurses, with our accountants, with our homeowners and home buyers, then you got to go through this funnel. So that's the vision that I see, and I don't see any reason why we cannot do it. So that's my 2 cents.
I agree.
Okay. One of the ways in which I personally have been monetizing or capitalizing on Guap is that I invest using Guap. So there's various people that take Guap for, like I said, products and services. I personally take Guap for my services, for my products, and Okolo takes Guap for investments. So you can purchase life insurance and other financial products through Okolo. So that has a direct impact on your financial well-being. And I know there's other members in the community who accept Guap for services. We have an attorney who accepts Guap for services, as well as people who make clothing and things like that. So that's kind of to what you were speaking about before, how to integrate into the community.
I'm sorry, who was just speaking just now?
Sky was speaking.
Was Sky? Okay, Sky. I couldn't quite hear everything that you were saying, but I'm keenly interested in getting a better understanding of how you initially got into it, and then how you began to spread it throughout your life. Could you share that with us?
Sure. I initially got into.
Is your mother here?
I follow Tavania on Facebook, and I saw a posting about it, and I had been interested in cryptocurrency, so I intuitively knew this was something that I was interested in being a part of. So she was talking about I did some on cryptocurrency and the value of having a master node. So the opportunity to get a master node for so cheap was very appealing to me. So I kind of jumped on it, and that was May of 2020. And then I went on to purchase 2 more. Since then, I've accumulated coins and just continued to build my own. And I've gotten to a place where I can now use the coins that I'm making on a daily basis to fund various activities in my life. So that's kind of how it went for me.
Thank you.
Do anybody else have any other questions?
So when this is Kimberly again, when I think of Guap, I think I might be one of the oldest member in the group. And I was raised in the 60s, so I remember as a child how the community used to be compared to how it has come to be. And in essence, we're talking about going back to the way we used to have to do business because we didn't have an option. We had to manufacture, we had to distribute, and we also had to retail because we were pushed out. We weren't accepted into the major system. And so when we're talking about using Guap to be our currency, the way we do business so that the dollar, the Guap coin stays amongst ourselves and our communities longer. We're talking about going backwards to a place that we should not have left, but we did not know any better. Now that we know better, we know that we are our only saviors. Nobody's going to save us. Nobody's going to come make it right. We are the ones that have come to make it right. And so it would behoove us. I am going to get Guap for my grandkids and for my children, and that's going to be my legacy to leave it to them and put it in trust so that they can't mess it up. If I get a wallet for each of my grandchildren, a wallet for each of my children, and then send them a few coins, then that's more wallet holders that counts for something, I think. And the activity of sending it amongst each other also counts for something, I think. And so the thought is, I encourage everybody I come to contact, just download the wallet. I'll send you a few coins like Okolo does. And people are grateful for that. And they've not heard of it. So it's an entryway into playing in the Guapcoin cryptocurrency field with just getting a few coins. But it's it's like we have no option. Either we're going to take care of ourselves or we won't be taken care of.
I want to piggyback on that statement too. If you're following what is happening in the world in terms of our current economic situation, it is imperative that we find a way to fund ourselves, find a way to provide for our own financial future. I mean, people are right now having gas shortages, food shortages. Having a way to create financial security is imperative. So having a masternode feeds into that need for securing yourself financially. Being able to literally create money from your computer or wallet is huge. You can literally live off of what you're creating with these masternodes. This will literally put food on your plate, buy your water, buy your services. There's one gentleman that I know who has several masternodes. He basically funded his entire business using his masternodes. So it can very much be a life changer.
Okay, everybody, we've got 14 people in the group, and I'm interested in learning where you guys are in terms of are you business owners? Are you accepting Guap? Are you masternode holders? I want to know who you are. Uh, Keith and Lee and Rashida, and talk to us.
Well, my name is Gose, and I'm fairly new to Guapcoin. Maybe a month ago, I saw something that I think Okolo had posted, and so I signed up, and he sent me some Guapcoin, and then Sky sent me some, and so I just now today am in the process of working with Okolo and Jason to get my node set up.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean,
Say welcome.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, my name is Keith. Of course, I'm new to this process, and I'm still trying to learn. I've been allowing myself to be distracted by a whole lot of things going on in life, but I'm still trying to understand more about Guap. It seems significant. I bought some from an individual. I bought through PayPal. I bought like $300 worth of like 1,900 coins, and I'm still trying to figure out what to do with them. And just trying to learn more about this whole process. There's been a lot going on with work and everything, and it just seems like there's never enough time to sit down and to figure out things. But I'm not giving up. I still just got off work just now, overtime, just in the Lowe's parking lot. I'm just trying to just stay involved and stay connected and just
keep making excuses about why I can't buy it. That was sitting ready to hit 4,000.
Let me make sure I'm not, Linda. I am not.
Okay. Anybody else? Let's see.
Hi everyone. I'm Rashida, and I have been involved with Guapcoin probably for about a year. Actually, I got started in probably May of this year. I was introduced to cryptocurrency, and I saw something about Guapcoin from a post that somebody shared, and so I really loved the whole idea of Guapcoin, and I read the white paper, and I was just really intrigued with it, and so I pretty much went full in. I'm a masternode holder. I recently got my third masternode, and it's a powerful thing, and I am looking forward to seeing where it goes, because I really feel like this Guapcoin is going to really explode. I do. So that's where I am with Guapcoin.
Thank you, Rashida. Jim, help us out. We're talking about how it could be useful and how we're using it individually, and how we can promote it amongst our family and friends and make it even more viable.
Yeah, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Bell. I have a company called ZMB Invest, and in October, I branched into crypto, and I was introduced to Guapcoin, so I've been messing around with it. I've got a IT background, so some of it was easier for me to get through than others who are here for the real reason, which is Black folks helping Black folks, right? And so I started to get involved, and then I recently launched a service where I do masternodes as a service, and some of that I did a presentation about why I think Guapcoin is such a good coin for that. The standard kind of approach that we do when we're trying to introduce it to folks is we just get them to download a wallet and we send them some Guap, or they can buy some Guap, and then they have to have a wallet so that it comes in, and you begin to understand the interfaces that you deal with for the technical side of it. How do I get to my money? How do I know how much money there is? How do I, all that kind of stuff. And you just start easy. You start slow with a mobile wallet. If you have a little bit of background, or if you're interested in the whole idea of running a masternode, which for those of you who aren't familiar with masternodes, it's the mining server in Bitcoin. They call it mining. And so when the whole Ethereum thing came out, and the approach moved from how they validate the transactions, and it changed, that's where we sit more on the It was originally on an Ethereum blockchain, I believe. But that's where we sit. So we don't mind. We get staking rewards, and it's the same, but it's the same principle. You put a machine out there that helps to validate everything, and for doing that, you get rewards. And so, at the price points that we're at now, the ease of putting a masternode up makes it a whole lot easier to get rewards faster. So that's the purpose of that. That's why people go that route. At the same time, there's other things that the foundation is involved in and developing all the time. Places where you can actually spend it in retail, different opportunities to teach youth about this crypto world that's coming. And we find out a lot of times that they know more about it than us because they've been using crypto coins and gaming for many years. And so, with that focus, that we're beginning to move into a place where we can actually have more control over how our money is spent. This is a perfect platform for that. It's us doing for us, and that's what excited me about it, and that's why I stuck with it. So, glad to see everybody here. Is Akolo going to make it tonight?
He started, but he'll be popping in and out.
Okay.
So,
and I saw a note. Yeah, I saw a note that Tavana might join us as well. So.
Right. And so, what's
good.
advice do you have for those who might want to accept it for their business? How do they go about accepting Guap for their business, their service, or their product? I think we've got people on the line who want to know. They say, I need help with the technical assistance. And so I don't know that piece.
Yeah, there's a product that the retail store owners are using, and it's called Coin Payment. And it's a system that integrates with their point of sale so that they can accept the Guap coin. I don't have any personal experience with that, so I'm not exactly sure how it integrates, but it does integrate successfully. I know Keybooks is using it, and there's a restaurant, Martha's Vineyard, that's using it, and they would be good resources to talk to about it. Also, if you're new and you're wondering about these things, please join the Telegram group. This kind of conversation goes on out there all the time. We got about 6 subgroups. And depending on what it is that you need, if you're new to a masternode and you need some help with that, or if there's the developers are out there, technical support's out there. If you're trying to figure out what the best way is to get involved with being able to accept Guap, there's several people that are doing it already. So that's really a good place to get that kind of information. I would suggest that you do that. Get low.
Hey, how you doing, Jim? What's up, man?
Good. How you doing?
I'm amazing. I was just gonna chime in with you and just say,
yeah, please do.
As far as what I've personally seen with adding, it's called the APIs, and there's different formats of the API that you get to add to your website. I know WordPress websites use it directly. Or if you don't even have a website and you want to get one built using your own Guapcoin, you can actually get one built through through some of the devs out there. I know Steve Fong is really popular for doing it. I think he works on Keybook Store website.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really actually a plug and play kind of thing if you go behind the scenes of it all. From what I've seen, it's nothing more than an API plug and play. And before you know it, you can load up. Well, of course, you set it up on Coin Payments, and Coin Payments has their own form of, login for that. But after that, you just take the API and select the coins that you want to select for payment. And as long as you select Guapcoin, people will shop with you.
Yeah.
So it's relatively easy.
Yeah, if you're running a business and you have integrated into your systems into any other systems, it's the same standard thing. Yeah, application program interface is what API is. And it makes it very easy for you to connect your systems into other systems and share data so that you don't have to send files back and forth or store a bunch of files in a central location and then And then, you know, you end up with contention trying to get at them. So that's really what it is. And that's the easiest way for websites to connect to each other these days. So yeah, that's definitely coin payments is one. I think there's another way to do it.
I was gonna throw one in there. I was gonna actually say, if you're a small business, or if you were wanting to just find another way to take in Guapcoin for your own business, the real ease and simplicity of it all wholeheartedly is to own a wallet. And you can own a second wallet or create a second wallet. And when I say create it, literally just that, create a second wallet. It could be for a desktop or it could be on your mobile phone. As long as you have maybe the QR code or even just the address in which people are supposed to deposit those coins to, as long as you have a wallet, a price that you know people are supposed to pay, and a place for them to pay, those coins are going to go to your wallet. So opening up a wallet starts all of it.
Yep.
So you can avoid going through that formal system and just use a separate wallet for your business, knowing how much should be deposited by whomever you sold the product to, and they would deposit it from their Guap to you.
Very much exactly that. The beauty of cryptocurrency, and this is for everyone on here to know, is that everything is possible using crypto the same way it is using any other form of currency, except in this case, you have all of the power, control, and choice. You have all of the power, control, and choice.
Hey,
Every
brother.
time you're yes, I'm sorry.
Brother.
Yes, I'm here. Did I fall off? I'm sorry. Hello?
No, you're still
We
there.
hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was going to say that everything that you're choosing to do, you
Hey,
have all the power and control
Did
to
you
do
look in
so.
Telegraph?
What do you say, Daryl?
Daryl, are you talking to us? I think he came off of mute on accident. He's talking to somebody else. Yeah, he just went on mute. You're good, Gitlow. Go ahead, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that being said, the simplicity of it all is just knowing that you can do it. And you doing it is simply just opening up a wallet the same way another company will open up a cash register. Then opening up a wallet is what you do initially from it all. For your website, if you have a website, then therefore you would add that API for coin payments and add Guapcoin as a form of payment, which is really simple. But with everything in this cryptocurrency space, having a wallet and what type of wallet you have opens up the gateway to do everything else. That's all I have.
Theoretically, you could do business just with separate wallets that you've downloaded and opened up on behalf of your business and never get hooked into the other way.
Very true. And as your business expands, you can add the same exact wallet and wallet address to a website and still have the same deposit space that you've always had. So as you grow, your space of place of payment works. Matter of fact, you can look at it like this. Let's say you don't have a website, but you do want to accept Guap, and you know that you want to eventually have a good website made. If you like the websites that are developed around Guapcoin, believe it or not, a lot of them have been handled by people who accept Guapcoin for payment. So your business can start off local. You just have your wallet. You work your business. You collect Guapcoin as a form of payment. You teach people about cryptocurrency. After that, you turn around and you have enough coins to turn around and maybe pay someone in the Guapcoin community to make your website. Your website gets made. They add coin payments to it. They add the same exact address. And now you've expanded your business from local to global virtually using Guapcoin, if that makes any sense.
It does. That's brilliant. And so if you just crocheted hats, if you just it could be anything that you do, small.
I
There's
need
a
my women
methodology.
and brothers out here to be the nail technicians. Can we please take over that category of space? Think about that. Okay,
Literally,
we need that
yes.
space. Yeah, take over that space. I would like someone to work on my family's feet that cares and looks like my feet, and it would be a lot better. So I can know who's looking at my feet like they care and who's looking at my feet like, you know, these, I
Right.
hate to offend anybody, but I don't want nobody looking at my feet like, look at these nigga feet and they talking about me and taking my money. It always makes me feel bad. So that, I mean, everything from simple to that, all the way up. You could be a lifeguard who gives life instructions. You could be a lifeguard who gives swimming instructions. All of the above. It doesn't matter. As long as it's out there, if it's real, if it's going to be a good service, and everyone's going to eventually review their service. But if you're trying to spark your business, you need to understand that Guapcoin doesn't only give you a currency, but it gives you a niche market for which you can find a bunch of people who are going to look at you just because of you bringing the business to them, and they're looking for a place to do business. So the ecosystem, and when everyone hears the word ecosystem, and Guapcoin has a bigger ecosystem, or it has a real ecosystem, it's that ability to not just have the coin, but use it. Not just trade it, turn it into American dollars, get taxed for it, and have it all over your stuff. No, you can use it. That's what that's about.
Gitlo, thank you so much. This is Yvonne. That is just absolutely so inspiring. I just feel like, you know what, based on what you said, I can do it. And I thank you for that. I feel equipped. I do have a couple of quick questions. I'm curious to know if there's a difference in the kinds of wallets that are out there, or the kinds of wallets we can have. So if you or Jim can speak to that. And I'm also curious to know if there are different kinds of master nodes. I'm not really clear about the difference between a pool master node and I guess some of the other structures that are out there. So if one of you could speak to that, I think that would be helpful. Thank you.
I can speak if I don't want to take over the room if it's someone else's room, but feel free to speak first if you want to.
It's
Okay.
our room.
All right, great. I appreciate it, y'all. So what I was going to say is that when it comes to master nodes, and this is a two-part question. So I'm going to go with master nodes first, because that's the one that's from the front of my head. Everyone in this room and everybody who does or does not have a master node, they have a choice on how they get that master node, period. You can be the complete controller, sole controller of your coins, your wallet, your VPS bill, how your wallet is managed, how your master node is managed. You can do all the troubleshooting. You can be in control of all of that yourself. And I highly suggest it, okay? But it will take time. It will take a little bit of knowledge if you don't understand the learning curve that comes with coding it, but it is very much a valuable thing to have underneath your belt. Me, I've never made a master node for free. I've always charged someone to make them. The same way I was charged to have my first master node. It's nothing more than if you do know, you do, and if you don't know, you might pay someone to do it or find another way. So the first way is to make your own master node, all right? That's the first way, and that can be done by any means necessary, all right? The second way is to go online, get you some Bitcoin, go to a Bitcoin ATM machine to get you some Bitcoin, find any way to get you some Bitcoin, have it on a wallet, and send those coins to an exchange that has Guapcoin. In this case, we're talking about Probit and soon to be Coinbase or something else. So you send those coins to Probit, and then you take those 10,000 coins and you could send them to Grow Your Guap, a place where they have hosted master nodes. Hosted means you take out the VPS part and just add your coins and say, I want to make the residuals that come back or the rewards that come off of having a master node, okay? What do you lose? You lose control of those 10,000 coins for 2 years. They're locked into the system, and your rewards are a little bit lower because some of it, like 4 of your coins, go into funding the hosting site. But you're not having to be bothered with the coding. You don't have to be worried about your rewards not coming through. There's always someone 24 hours watching it, and you don't have to know anything besides you're going to get your rewards and they're going to come through, and everyone's happy with that. I have a Grow Your Guap account. I have a pool. Pools used to be around, and I'm not really sure if they're going to come back, but Grow Your Guap is something like a pool too. Once the pool fills up, you get your disbursements of what percentage of a master node you paid for, all right? And then last but not least, the third option is to basically do like a grow your guap with someone else, meaning that they could even host your masternode for you. Literally, not everyone has to code their own masternode. They can just take the knowledge that they have and code others too, and be their own bank and be their own host for people too. I do the exact same thing. You might find a lot of other people who know how to code do the exact same thing. Did I say that correctly and everybody understood it?
One of the things that Marcus kind of also failed to mention, which is cool, is that Grow Your Guap has an affiliate aspect to it. So I just put my affiliate link in the chat. Every person that has a Grow Your Guap has an affiliate link, which means you get guap for referring people, hence Grow Your Guap. So in addition to getting your rewards from owning a masternode, you also get affiliate rewards. So that's also another option for Grow Your Guap. That's another way of getting more coins.
Yep.
So there are four total ways then, I heard?
No, not for getting a masternode, but for accumulating more guap. She's saying that if you have a masternode on Grow Your Guap, or not even if you have a masternode, if you have the account on Grow Your Guap, and when you talk to people about Grow Your Guap, or you're in Telegram about Grow Your Guap, if you hear someone say, well, how can I get a masternode? You can paste your referral link. You can get a masternode by going to this link. That link is going to send them to Grow Your Guap. They're going to set up an account, and you're going to get a piece of a referral. You're going to get the referral rewards from that person. So you might get like maybe one Guap coin or 0.1, or I forgot how it might be, just from someone that you referred. Every single person, you're going to get something back. So on top of that masternode that you may or may not have, you could still be accumulating Guap coin just because you got a referral link.
So go ahead. Who had a question?
Yeah. So the first, you say you can grow your own. Somebody else can do it for you, or you can. There was a third option when you're talking about growing your own masternodes. I heard.
That's controlling building your own and creating your own master. Yeah, building your own and creating your own masternode is basically the same exact thing. The second option was Grow Your Guap. And then my third option, which was literally finding a person, that is going to personally host everything for you.
I got you.
And that right there is you're looking for someone who's vetted. You got people I think Sky makes her own nodes. I'm not sure. I know I make my own nodes. I think a Colo might make his own nodes. And you got to find who might make their own nodes, but you're going to be looking for people who are vetted that would be able to, assist you. I mean, the cryptocurrency space is the wild, wild west. So who does really help if you're going to put your money with that person and in their hands.
So do we have a list of those individuals?
One of the things
I would
go ahead. One of the things you can do is join the Telegram group.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. Getlow is very knowledgeable, as you can tell, and he's very enthusiastic about Guap, and he is regularly in the group, as well as many other people who can assist you answer questions. So you're not relegated to this one night of getting your questions answered. And also there's a community of people who have gotten to know each other, so that you can ask about people who are reputable and knowledgeable and able to give you what you're seeking in terms of masternode. He just named at least 3 people that are regular participants of the group. So there's always somebody that you can be directed to in order to get these masternodes, as well as coins and questions answered. Just being a part of the group, period. You can get a lot of information.
Thank you so much. Jim, can you speak a little bit to the kind of masternodes that you do? I heard you say ZMB investing, and you do masternodes as well?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to jump in and say, because of the way that I got involved in this, right? So I started poking around trying to answer questions for people that I knew, because they knew I had an IT background. And so as I began to learn things, I said, I really like the mission. I like the vision. I'm going to throw up some of these and see, what it takes to do it. And after I taught myself to do a couple of them, then it was really easy to do the rest of them. So I got like 9 right now. I think next week I'll turn another 10,000 on rewards, and I'll throw up another one. I'm right now in the middle of a buy with the foundation to help. So I'm giving a donation. They give me Guap. I'm going to put those up and probably sell that as part of my service individually. But what I did was I created a service. And my service is, if you got 10,000 Guap and you don't want to deal with any of the rest of it, because it, like Getlo was saying, there's a skill set that's involved, and it's not incredibly difficult. If you're a programmer, developer in that kind of space, if you ever took care of servers, it's not incredibly difficult. It's scripting, it's Linux commands. But if you don't know that and don't have an interest in it, it's just as easy to get your hands on 10,000 Guap, and then I will host it for you. And I do it exactly the way that I do mine. So as a matter of fact, I have 2 computers. I keep all of mine on one, and I keep all my customers on another computer. And then I handle that management for you. So what you end up with is a service to me that describes how you're going to collect your Guap, how long I'm going to do it for. And if you have something that comes up and you need to get to that Guap, that you just send me a message and I get it to you. And that takes all the technical stuff out of it, and you don't have to worry about it. You have a full node. It's not part of any share. You don't have a 2-year commitment before you can take any out. But you have to have the resources to go and find 10,000 Guap and bring it to me. And then I will go ahead and create a node for you the same way I do all the rest of them. And so the reason why I did that, full disclosure, is because my cousin's in this group and he started talking to me about it, and I offered it to him. And he realized how many other people wanted to do that. So I went ahead and put together something that's repeatable. I send out a contract with it. I make sure that you have protection with it. I describe termination clauses with it, the whole thing. So I specifically treat it as a service. It's just a service, and I do it for you. And then if you need anything, you send me a note, and I take care of it. So it's a little unique. It's kind of a combination of things. But if you think about it, it's just, hey, I'm doing it anyway. So if you want to do it exactly like I'm doing it, I'll do it for you. And I charge $125 a year. And if it's a consecutive year, I charge you $99 in a second year. But I don't sell Guap. I don't sell, I kind of stayed away from that because of all the tax stuff that's going on right now. And I hadn't navigated through that yet. And so as I begin to understand more and I find a piece of software that'll track everything, and that's a good point to bring up as well, because you should know this as you're making an investment in this. As I begin to get my arms wrapped around exactly what would happen, then I can start thinking about selling it. But today it's complicated enough as it is. If you buy, hold, and sell, you are subject to capital gain tax, period. So think of it like stock. If you're mining, they consider, or if you have a master node that's collecting rewards, they consider that as ordinary income. So you have to be able to report in your taxes when you received this Guap and what it was worth when you received it and how much it's worth now. And they look at, if you sell it, they look at a gain. And if you don't sell it and you just hold on to it, they look at it as income. So you have to be able to report that. And like I said, I got a farm with 9 in them now, and I get quite a few Guap every day. And they come in, they just trickle in. So I'm not sitting in front of my computer all day long counting what time they come in and all that stuff. So you need a piece of software to do that. And the last thing I wanted to do was to sign up people that I consider to be my friends for failure because I didn't understand that. So if you own all your own Guap, I'll give you all the reports and you can figure out with your CPA how you're going to handle it. I'm not a CPA, don't pretend to be. But that's, you know, that's what, because that's what I have to do. So I just offered it out. Whatever I'm doing, I offered it up, and that's how I became a service. And then, you know, of course, digging around in it and learning more about it. I ended up doing a presentation on it and that sort of thing. So I can be helpful, but I use the same paths that everyone else is suggesting. And the chat where we dropped in where all the links are, Sky put that in there. That was that's perfect, because there was a point in time when we were all asking, where do we go? Now we got a place to go. That's where I go to learn. If I run into some crazy thing I had seen before, I go to the developers room and I throw a question out there. And those guys are good and they're fast. They get back to you quick. They give you suggestions on what you can do and try. You know, it's very helpful community. So that's my story.
Going off, can I piggyback off of that? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
When you spoke about the developers, I want to take this 1 second and opportunity to dig into your pull on your heartstrings, but it's really true. Those devs, most of them, they do get paid, but they get paid based on voluntary donation kind of status and stuff like that. Okay, and
Get paid based on what?
I'm sorry, like through donations. Okay, or some of them get paid maybe only through Guap and stuff like that. The donations and everything like that that we need are based upon for us to move forward. Guapcoin is organically grown. Okay, when I say organic, that means that these conversations are happening over and over again in small groups, and they're getting larger, and we're trying to get out there. So when it comes down to hitting up these devs and things like that, feel free to take your same Guapcoin and donate it, because they're technically trying to help you make more money. And I've paid, believe it or not, to learn some of these tricks of the trade using my own Guapcoin as I got it. So definitely take the opportunity as you make Guap to donate, to tip, however you want to put it, these devs that come through, and, you know, the foundation and stuff like that too. Just a major thought. I'm not one of the devs to tip. I don't do like that, but there are devs that you can literally pay and donate to, and the Guap Foundation needs our donations in every shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah, and when the masternode holders vote, we vote by sending money to the foundation. So for every server you have, you can place a vote for whatever the topic is that's up. And the way that they do it is they create a wallet, and then you vote. I have 9 servers, so at the last one I think it was 20 each, maybe just 20 each. So I sent 9 sets of 20 in to vote to make sure my voice was heard. And that too is, you know, the foundation does a lot of stuff. That's why I just chose to. I'm on Probit. I don't like it, but you know, it's a necessary evil. This whole in this game, and that it pretty much goes that way for just about any coin you want to get. You're going to have to get off of an exchange. There's a learning curve, but it's, you know, it is a thing that we do. The foundation needed some cash, and they had some Guap to give up for it. So I went that route to make sure that the cash can be used for things that they're trying to do to further our cause. So there's a lot of different options out there to stay active and make sure this happens. And I got to tell you, I'm really, really excited to help other people get masternodes. The more that we do this, the better the blockchain will be. It will process things faster. We will be able to do more things. And as we use more of the Guap and supply and demand changes, the value of the Guap will increase, just like in anything else. So when people get excited about it and they say, hey, it's really cool, I got this wallet and I got 500 Guap in it, and they're done, there's a lot more that you could be doing, not only to help yourself, but to help the whole ecosystem. So it's important to explore those options. And I love Telegram. In the beginning, I didn't even know anything about Telegram, but as a community, and to be able to share things, share knowledge, to help solve problems, all of that kind of stuff. I think that's a great place. We have a really good community.
Thank you, Jim. Jim, this is Yvonne. I just wanted to say thank you for highlighting the governance responsibility associated with being a masternode holder. That's a whole nother level in and of itself. And I know there's some decisions that are being made on the forefront of the Guap community with regard to how funds are funneling. I'm not sure if the 20 Guap that we put in for votes are going directly to the foundation or if they're going to the blockchain directly. And they're going to be funding different different things in the community. People have an opportunity to submit proposals. There's a lot that's happening from a governance perspective, and everyone who is a masternode holder has the opportunity to do that. I do know you have to register with the foundation in order to be able to get connected to that information. I think one of my own personal challenges has been connecting to the information. I'm not one that really goes out to get that kind of thing. I prefer for it to come to me because I already have a busy life. And so I have to kind of retrain myself to be able to get at the information and data. The other thing I was curious about, and maybe there's someone who can speak to this perhaps on another call because we're almost out of time, but like what's happening on the forefront as far as the government decisions about how cryptocurrency is going to be handled and the impact that's having on Guapcoin. That, like, where's the stream of that information? That you know, that's a whole nother level of dialogue.
I would say that information for everybody is new, but the only person out of the foundation that I'm not gonna say the only person. I've seen 1, 2, maybe 3 people speak on it really well in regards to what's supposed to be. But I know Jason Lamb is the person to reach out to. He's very busy, that I do know, but everything that I've heard thus far is pretty much in tune with what I think I've already heard him say. But at the same time, all those regulations, I think they're still being worked out. I mean, it's a really hard pickle. I mean, the government has their hands tied. I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
they have their hands tied, and I don't know what these regulations are going to end up being. I'm, the software, all the above. So I'm curious too, everybody.
Yes, I know they're formulating it, and I know that Tavan is on the front edge of all of that communication. So I just think there's a lot to come.
I subscribe to a lot of channels on YouTube around crypto, where you can get, when, like, if somebody goes on Bloomberg TV, for example, then you can get that clip and you can see that. You don't necessarily have to see the rest of the show. You can see what the discussion is around there. There's a couple of crypto guys that have been in it from the very beginning, and they're also in finance. And so they have a lot of opinions about how things are going to happen and change. The last thing that I saw, the last argument I saw that they were trying to straighten out with the government and crypto, because they've already made up their mind on taxes. That, it is what it is, whether you like it or not. I don't like it, but that's what it is. But there's a big discussion about whether or not coins are treated as assets or as currency. And they're trying to get their hands wrapped around this, because this could also, and it could fall into securities, which then will change the whole face of how you get them. And unfortunately, I think by the time we get this figured out, it's going to be when all of the big banks have come to an agreement on how they want it. And then they're going to go and pressure the SEC to make it that way. Because they came in late. They called it monopoly money. They said it wasn't real. The whole crypto space has a $2 trillion market cap. So you can call it monopoly money if you want to. But Elon Musk, until today, some press release came out saying they're freezing on Bitcoin, but he was letting you buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. So, it's real, and they're afraid they're not going to get their cut right now. and they want some control. So that's what's going back and forth on that. The last thing came out a couple of days ago was about this whole securities discussion, which kind of made sense because of what the SEC just put Ripple through. Its code is XRP, and it was built to be a stable coin, which means there'll be a commodity backing it. So it's always going to be right around $1. And banks were going to use Ripple as part of their blockchain to move money around. That's another thing that they've learned. If I want to send Getlow some guap right now, he'll have it in 3 minutes. if I want to send him money through the bank, he'll have it in 3 days. And what the banks are realizing is that this can help them in their profit margins. So they're interested in doing this, and they were looking for stable coins that they could use. And that's why the SEC went and attacked Ripple. It looks like Ripple's going to win this. And then from there, they'll probably start making more decisions about how these coins are viewed. For tax purposes, they're viewed as property. So that's why you have capital gains. And when you're mining them, they're like, well, how do we get our cut out of that? Because if he's mining and never selling, we're never gonna see that. So that's why they decided to call that ordinary income. So the IRS has figured out what they want to do. The next piece will be whether or not this gets treated as a security. And if it gets treated as a security, there's a whole new ballgame, because you have to be authorized and certified to trade in securities. So things become a little bit different, and it kind of pushes back to to centralized control, which is not what this is all about. So, but that's that all of that. I don't have my hand in it. They're not gonna let me make any decisions. This is just things that I'm picking up from news programs and YouTube and all of the mailing lists that I've been subscribing to.
And this is a personal thought, but honestly, I think this still comes down to the people found a way to have control. And even I can't think of, the people just found a way to have control. This is crazy. That's all.
No, I agree. And they weren't ready for it. The government wasn't ready for it. Kind of like the way that Tesla showed up, right?
Yep.
Nobody would make a battery. Every time somebody started to make a battery, one of the oil companies or one of the car companies would buy it to prevent the competition. But CEOs want to use their laptop from New York to London, and the batteries weren't lasting. So they started working on laptop batteries. And Tesla just took laptop batteries in his first prototypes and daisy chained them together. Aha, gotcha. Because you got to have those batteries, and now you can't buy them and you can't take them from me. And then he started making cars for people. That's the same thing that cryptocurrency is doing. And there are going to be big players that are going to try to change the game along the way. So we just have to stay diligent, keep our ears open, talk to each other about what we know. If you have a set of friends that have little clubs that meet like this, at certain times, sign up for them. You might not be able to make them all, but make the ones that you can, and then you can hear about what's going on, and then you can make informed decisions about where you're putting your money. But I stand behind this is the best, especially for Masternodes, best coin out there going. So you're in the right place here.
I think about the Asians who've come to our country and they don't use our banks. So we just need to get together as a community. To Kimberly's point right at the beginning, we need to go back to where we've come away from and come together. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Vaughn. That's right on point.
That's the
Thank
part.
you, Jim. You've
That's
been
the part.
Getlow, Jim. You all have really helped us. Now I understand more than I've understood in a year, based on this conversation. I see Okolo is back. Are you there, Okolo?
I'm here, but I'm just listening in. Go ahead. Thank you guys for holding it down.
So I had a question for Jim. Do you teach people how to mine?
I don't have that offering now, and it's just because I don't have the time for it. When I can be available and I can be in situations like this, I answer all the questions. If you send me emails, I can point you to the right direction. This is the third business I've launched in the last month, so so I'm running a little ragged right now. But I don't offer classes. What I tend to do is make a presentation, and then I can get it out, and then people can look at it and share it. And if you have questions, I can help you with it. But yeah, in general, I don't have any kind of an education thing set up right now.
Okay, it's something to consider for the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quite lucrative. For sure.
I think there's definitely a need for it. I would say a good place to get education, like these groups that you join. YouTube has a ton of information out there. It takes a little bit to weed through to find out who's trying to pump and dump and who's really interested in the genre and just wants to educate other people into what's going on. It doesn't take long after you listen for a while. You listen for the rhetoric, and then you know whether somebody's just trying to get you to buy something because they bought low. Like with anything else, right? Crypto's no different from that perspective. The other side is IT. There's a lot of IT education online now. There's a lot of things that you can do that don't cost any money. When somebody uses a term that you don't know what it is, if you can't ask right then, shoot an email out. Go to Google, search it in YouTube, because you'll get a lot of education from that interaction. And before you know it, you'll know a lot more about it than you used to. You won't even know how you got there. But those are all things that you can do for yourself. I think, well, maybe the next time we talk to Tavana, we'll find out if the Colo doesn't know. I think she was starting something for girls. I think I saw that on LinkedIn. To make sure, because that's a population that gets overlooked for things like this, and they shouldn't, especially young Black girls. So I think she was doing some mentorship around that for kids. I know a Colo, he encourages his kids to save through crypto and owning masternodes and having that responsibility to manage it, which I think is excellent, because it applies to so many other things, especially in the finance world. So those are some things that you can do until I come up with some kind of a curriculum that I can bring out.
So we're in the wild, wild west. We get to create our own industry. You've got, now you say 9 master nodes, and you provide a service. We just spoke of another service that's needed, teaching people how to mine. And all of these services bring money into them. I'm going to do the training and development portion, do some grant writing for the foundation. So it's kind of like we're the trailblazers. We are the ones that are setting open the path, creating new industries around cryptocurrency for ourselves. And it's just our imagination. This, we go into our imagination and we carve out our little area and work it to the bone, as we say.
Yeah, that's exactly how I got to this place with the masternodes. Is the possibility? What's the possibility?